how much is the buy-in for Path of Exile? Because obviously it's a free-to-play game, but like many free-to-play game, and pretty much any free-to-play game means you are paying something at some point, unless it's like a like a actual like free trailer or free indie game. But no, we're talking about a full big budget game here, and the big budget needs big money. So how much are you paying for this game? Well, while you can buy cosmetics, and they are really expensive. Good example is this is 260 points to make your Marauder look bigger with more strength stat. 260 points equates to $26 to look big, beefy. This armor pack here is nearly $50. That's pretty cool. Because, now I will say, first off, one point in this game's favor is that the game's points are, A, they're just called points, and B, they're not obfuscated. 10 points to a US dollar. That is basically what you get. Like, if you buy points, 50 to 5, 100 to 10, 200 to 20, they don't make special weird like ratios to try to confuse you and detach how much you're actually spending. So props to them for that. They kind of are pretty honest about their free-to-play model, and that's about the best you can hope for something like this. But let's go into like how much you're actually going to spend. Okay. So at the start, you start with here, let's do a demonstration. Okay, we'll make a start tab. Okay. These look something like this. At the start of the game, you will have, on a free account, 4 normal tabs. You can't name them, and they're just numbered 1 to 2, 3, 4. They're kind of this brown color, and they have this much inventory space. You also have this inventory space. Very important note, you cannot upgrade your inventory size. Like your character's player pack that you wander around the game with can never be upgraded. Only how many items you keep in your bank. And while this bank does give some player power in terms of being able to have like a lot of accessories, you can never boost your gameplay with how much you can carry around in a single zone. And nor can you buy XP boosts or stuff like that. The only gameplay functionality you can get is character slots and bank tabs. I may be missing something there, but I'm pretty sure that's it. And guild tabs, but that's basically in the same category here. Alright, so you get these 4. Things you want to do. You want to get, and we'll just call this the, you can actually make folders for these at the get-go, so you can, in theory, work around you can't name a tab just by making folders with them. Starting... Alright, so you start with these 4. First thing you're going to want is probably the currency tab. So let's put you here. Alright. The currency tab... Now, there's another thing to take into account. That currency tab will hold a lot of stuff, but because your inventory is going to be cluttered with like lots of wisdom scrolls and portal scrolls and more of them, and not those are rare. Transmutation shards, stuff like that. I could say that and you kind of have to sort them in an unsorted inventory space. You can assign affinities to even normal tabs. This is not a feature here. You right click, you can set, like, if you control click, it will go into that tab, and you can checkmark it and stuff like that. Well, let's just say currency tab first. When do you buy this? Probably either in the campaign or after. So the game is structured into 10 acts as the first part of the game. If you hit the U key, you have the quests. And you can go through all of this without spending any money on stash tabs. I've done it and like on a free account, and yeah, it's very doable. You do not fill up your stash tab at all doing this. You don't have to create mules. You have 24 characters, by the way, to start with the game with. This is where you start starting to feel the burn. When you get past your first character and want to keep hoarding items, or when you get into the epilogue and want to explore this thing, the end-game atlas, that's when you want a few items. So I'd say near the end of the game, your end of the campaign or start of the end game, this feature helps a lot. How much is the... Yeah, let's make a little notepad here. I think it's called Path of Exile spending. New. Okay. Let's make a little notepad here to denote how much we're spending here. Okay. Path of Exile spending tally. Alright. 1. Currency tab. 2. Upgrade to premium tab / buy a premium tab. Why do you want to do this? That's because, so yeah, let's just start here. So now we're at a currency tab. Trading in this game sucks ass. I'm just gonna outright say it. And you can't, and the way you trade without a premium tab is you make your profile public, and then you go to the game's forum, and you link in a post with little tag denominators next to the item. Like you link and post an item. You can actually link your items on the forums, which is, that's cool. And then you type in like tilde key B/O1 chaos. Actually, you type in the forum. If that sounds like a pain in the butt, that's because it is. So instead, you can just make a premium tab, do that work itself, and what you do is the premium tab you can write notes on. You can set the price of items. You right-click this and say public, each item individually priced. You can even just make this a note, like do not index and stuff like that. But only if it's publicly listed. So anyway, like you can say notes or make a price on it and stuff like that. So that's neat. But your stash tabs don't start premium, they start out standard, so you can upgrade to premium tab. Alright. What's next? Maps. You will get a lot of these suckers during the game. Oh, by the way, you don't need to buy multiple of these stash tabs. This holds 5,000 of each item, including these chaos orbs. For reference, I believe I can only store 600 in my inventory. And a single one of these, what is it? This is 144, I think, right? 12 by 12. Yeah, you can only hold 1440 of the chaos orbs in an entire tab. So like that gives you scope of how much value you're getting out of this theoretically. Like this basically solves all your storage need for anything that is a crafting item that is currency, including like exotic ones, map tabs. They do the same thing. They solve your problems for anything that is maps. You may want a second map tab in standard. I've heard that there's a merging thing where you convert your old maps to new ones, but and I did buy multiple maps back when they didn't have that feature. I'm not sure you actually need to do that, and please don't worry about your standard tabs. That's just a nightmare in its own regard. Play in leagues. Play the seasonal game. But yeah, each type of map can hold an inventory's worth. Is that right? What are we looking at? 6 by... Actually, more than that. This is 6 by 5. And this is what? 6 by 6. So it can store what, 72 maps for each type, which is more than you're ever going to really get unless you truly like blast this game. And like you'd have to play kind of a scary amount to even get there in a single league, at least. Not to mention you can sell maps. You can even set these public and sell the prices of your maps and stuff like that. It even holds the unique maps, and it even holds a spot for all the specialty maps that are influenced, so that's neat. Alright. Fragments. So let's say map tab next. And we're going to number these in order. Map tab. 4. Fragment tab. Why do you want a fragment tab? Mainly because these things, even though they stack, are you get a lot of them. Eventually you're going to want a fragment tab for like storing all of your little thingamabobs, breach splinters, scarabs. These all only appear in maps basically, except maybe the scarabs and maybe the fragments. So let's divide this to alright, so play campaign starting maps. And I will say the only reason you upgrade to a premium tab or buy it is for trading. Other than you wanting extra space, of course, which I did, and I don't know how I feel about my decision. But I don't think you need to trade, or at least you don't need to put items up for sale during the campaign, because a lot of stuff you pick up in the campaign is not going to be worth anything. It's really easy to go through the campaign without buying a single darn thing. Especially trading a single darn thing, unless like you really know what you're doing. And if you're starting out, you're not going to know what you're doing, so don't worry about it. I'm going to put this under the more mapping tab. Alright, what other things? These tabs. These tabs, let's rank them for sort of importance. I'm not sure which of these I would recommend, if any. Well, I'd recommend Divination Cards and Essence tabs. Maybe Delve. Maybe the Blight tab, probably not. And definitely not the Goop tab. Probably not the Delirium tab. The Goop tab's Metamorph tab. Alright. So let's put this under the specialty. 5 Divination tab. Actually, the Divination tab is kind of like... Divination tab could either be more mapping or just if you want to do specialty, because there's a lot of divination cards. It will solve all your divination card problems. This will store 5,000 of each card in the game, or you could just hoard them, or you could sell them. You really don't need to keep most of these. This is basically I don't want to get rid of this item tab, but very few of these are actually worth keeping. Most of them are just worth selling, I will say. So yeah. Or worth just vendoring to an NPC. Essences. So you can see, the thing about essences is each of these will take up 1 spot of inventory, but if you sell 3 of an essence, you get the next tier. This has an auto upgrade button, which is nice about that. It stores 1 extra item. How cute. So I'm gonna put that under 6. Alright. What else? Gem. Let's make another tab called Alright. This is the category where it's like you're just kind of doing overkill here. I'd say let's say premium bundle, because you probably are going to want more than 5 stash tabs at this point. Let's just say, let's put all the specialty tabs here. Delve, Delirium, Blight, Metamorph, Gem, Flask. These are all relatively functional. And finally, unique. And finally, what are you doing? Oh yeah, you probably want a quad tab somewhere in the add tab. Quad, because eventually you want just a big old tab to dump items into. Quad tab. Any more than this. Okay. So I'll put these under 7 and 8. You want the quad tab first, premium bundle next. I think I'm fair about the order here. You want Delve. You actually probably want Gems over the Flask tab over Delve. Or the smaller stuff, and you probably want the Gem tab. Like, I think these are honestly 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The reason I say the unique tab is really unnecessary is because it can only store one of each item. Most of these uniques are, this is purely a bragging rights tab. It's not like functional to too much of a degree. It's like if you're hoarding uniques, this is what you get it for. If you're using it to store items, just get a quad tab. It honestly might store more than the amount of uniques you find, especially, and it lets you keep spares. Whereas you can only hold one of each unique in this tab, not more. It's like if you have a dual wielding setup, like if you want to dual wield 2 uniques, well, this tab doesn't care. It only holds 1. Alright, so let's look at our spending tally here. Currency tab. So somewhere between playing the campaign and starting maps, like, so I would say well into the game, you've definitely had your decision made whether you not like this game or not. Let's open up the MTX store, stash tabs, and let's shrink this. I don't know how to. All right, let's move this to this side actually. And put it down, move it like that, there we go. Alright, currency tab. Currency tab is 75 points. So you're at, so for the start, we're at 750 USD. This is USD. 10 points is 1 USD. And we're not talking about sales, because even though you can get all these on sale, usually the 3rd week of the month or the 2nd week of a league start, usually. So keep that in mind. But this is just like you're impatient, you want to spend now, yada yada. Alright, upgrade tab. That ranges from 15 points to just buying a straight up new tab is 40 points. Okay. A map tab, I would say you want this at the same time you get the other tab, is 150 points, twice as much as a currency tab. That tells you what like, you don't care about maps until you get to mapping. That's when they start sinking a little bit in. So we're at... let's just say we're getting the buy a premium tab. But this would be 165 points, but let's just say 190. So $19. So we're currently running at a total of... Oh, this could be a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. Currently running at a tally of... what? 2650. So... can you... so for 2650, which is actually about... the amount for a tier 1 supporter pack, you can get everything you need for let me move this over. $330 US, 300 points. Congratulations. This game's $30 now. Everything else is starting to get fluffy. You can actually also get like a... if you want to get $60, you are guaranteed. Probably all you need for your rest of the game time you play, unless you really want to whale. I don't know how I feel about whaling, but yeah. Alright, anyways. Let's talk to Stash Tab some more. Alright. Fragment Tab. That is probably another 150 if I wager. 75. So about as much as Currency Tab. Okay. 75 points. So we are now at another 750, or... and our tally now is 27 plus 7, $34. And you can probably get this on sale for under that, and probably just... if you get like a $30 supporter pack. There's also a First Blood supporter pack for $20, but don't... which you could get. And it gives you like some stuff. Alright. So let's, but you know, we gotta go further down the rabbit hole. How much is a divination card tab? 50 points, or nice juicy $5. How much is an essence tab? 40, I think. Could be wrong. I don't see it here. Oh, there it is. It's 40. So another $9. Our tally, just to keep track, is 43. And now we're in the territory. I would argue maybe the more mapping, you might want a quad tab. Quad tabs are basically... well, let's see. They are cheaper, I think. They are $10 cheaper than a regular stash tab, I think, right? Premium stash tab, how much was that? 4? So quad stash tab's 4 times the size, so it'd be 160, now it's 150. I still put it under the It's the first item. Premium bundle, which I think is cheaper on discount. Premium bundle. 200 for 6 of them. That's basically 1 free stash tab if you do a bundle, which you might want to do. Is 400. 200. 400 would be like way more expensive. And then I believe all of these are 40. Gem. Yeah. 40. 40. How much is Delirium? I think Delirium is... Wait, isn't there a bundle? No. Nope. Delirium is 40. Yeah, everything else is 40 on this. Except the ones... Yeah. The rest of these are all 40. Except for the Unique tab. The Unique tab is... 140. It's like $14. Alright, so the end territory is where the price really goes up, I would say. We are at 35, and then 40 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 40 times 5, or 4 times 5, so we're at 200, 400, 550. So we're $55. Which now jumps our price fairly high. So yeah, if you really are like paying, like maybe playing a few months, this is where this is starting to kick in. Like a few seasons, not a few months. You learn 2 things today. Hey Dusk, I'm doing a price check on... I'm doing like a how much can you spend on Path of Exile reasonably. First I'm going to make it... I'm gonna... one sec. Alright, so we are at 90... $8. And now we're at ant territory. Add another 14 to this. And we are at... What's 98 plus 14? 108, 112. Right? Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so that's how much... If you're spending and you want to have diminishing returns on tabs, you could probably spend $112 on this game and you'll be set for the rest of your playthrough. Like, all of it. Like, all the seasons. I spent way more than this, as I put in the last video. The What Are You Doing tab is where I'm at. Why am I spending more than this? Alright, anyways. So, Path of Exile. It is $7.50. Ranges from that to you've been playing for years to $112. That's the Path of Exile story. Now I'm going to go trade with people.